it's one of those things. I'm actually the Archie guy at our site, right? I spent 10 minutes yesterday talking with Roberto about how Josie and the Pussycats is like my favorite comics adaptation of all time. So
the woman right
here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, I mean, I saw the movie and I loved it. And what's nice, because I've actually had people ask me, oh, is it going to be like the movie?
Yes.
Everything about what we're doing, especially what I'm doing with Josie, is very different. It's very unique in particular to me, and how I view her also tied in with who she is originally. She's definitely not like ditzy. She's very determined. She's very specific about what she wants. She's very driven. And even with all that kind of like girl power, she has a weakness, which I won't say what it is, but it's coming.
Now, we know that music is a big part of the show. We also know that the kickoff event is the death of your brother. So you guys are kind of the stealth elements that shape this plot in a lot of ways. How is that as you're coming into this promotion and you're talking to people who are like, oh, but Archie?
Right, it's definitely different because I come into it almost expecting people to know what the show is, like what's going on with the show, and then I have to explain to them, like, no, I know Cheryl Blossom's not really that relevant in the comics, but I swear, like, I'm in the show, I swear to you. So it's definitely been a new experience because, of course, there's the iconic characters, but with that comes a little bit less pressure, which is awesome, and then we kind of get to, like, wow people. Like, here we are.
Yeah.
Now, what's your relationship with Archie? Because obviously, like we said, he's trying to get into music, and you guys are already kind of firmly there.
Oh yeah, no, we don't have time for Archie, especially me. Archie is a threat. Because Josie and her Pussycats, we are A-list in Riverdale. We're where it's at. Everybody knows if they want to have a good time, if they want their party to be poppin' with live music, it's going to be the Pussycats. And so when this really kind of hot, good-looking guy shows up who happens to be talented, wants my guidance, and I'm like, nuh-uh. It creates this dynamic of where I now like kind of start to get nervous. And then there's also the issue with my Pussycats thinking he's cute. So, there's like some defiance going on and a crumbling in the empire. But I'm not really sure whether or not Josie and Archie are ever going to come to a common ground. I personally would like to see that happen because it's super hard to be mean to KJ. Like, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. But I'll do it. So, there's definitely going to be an interaction, a strong interaction with him and possibly with other characters as well. She has a love life. She's got people that she calls her friends, whatever that means.
Well, and that's actually one of the things. So much of Archie traditionally has been built up around the love triangle, but like you guys get to be kind of strong female characters that are totally independent of Archie in a lot of ways. Is that exciting?
It is. I was actually just about to say that earlier in an interview, is that with our characters particularly, neither of us are tied to any man. Yeah, when my brother dies, it becomes very hard for me to move on because he was my best friend. And then I find this independence within myself, and I kind of march on to the beat of my own drum because no one likes me at school. I am kind of like the queen bee. Even my friends are betraying me. So it's definitely nice to be able to carry this like independence into, especially 2016, 2017 when we premiere. It's kind of the generation of being a strong, independent woman.
And I think that's really important. Having read the comics, they're always very kind of sweet. There's always a very neat button, beginning, middle, and end. And I feel like with the women characters, as the comics has evolved, there still hasn't been, there's always a naivete. There's always this kind of tone that, she's a woman, she's not, there's a ditz, like, it's fine, we knew that was going to happen. And I think it's really great that in the show that we are very powerful and strong.
None of our characters are ditzy.
Not at all. We're very pointed about everything that we're doing. We know what we're doing. We don't need anybody to kind of guide us and tell us, oh, it's okay, you can do that.
Now, with the rebooted Riverdale, like, we haven't seen either of your characters yet. Obviously, Josie has a book coming up soon, but is it kind of interesting to you guys that you're going to be able to really shape people's perception of these characters in a big, big way?
I know that I'm going to be in edition 13 is what they just announced, and it's kind of crazy to see what she looked like a couple months before, and now I see her now, and I'm like, I feel like she looks a little bit more like me. It's definitely bizarre being comic book characters come to life. I mean, it's a lot different for Ashleigh, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, I'm like the spitting image of Cheryl, so it's definitely a really fun but also very pressure-filled role to take.
Yeah, it's definitely, I have my moments where I'm like, But what's nice is that there is a lot of reception and support of it. You know, not so much that, oh, she's wiping out the old Josie, because that's not the case. You know, I want to draw a lot from where she's come from. You know, even within the show, I want to be able to go back to different series and comics and, you know, emulate what she's wearing and be able to really tie that in. You know, it's almost like, you know, I'm a reincarnation of Josie now, you know.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time.